Today, I'm sharing my favorite mobility and recovery tools. So, whether your goal is to reduce sore muscles, improve joint health, or simply move better, we're going to talk about it all today. Now, one of the tools is really unique. You probably haven't seen it anywhere else. And another one is very common, something that many of us already have at home. And make sure you stick around for the full video because at the end of it, I'm going to talk about the most common mobility mistake that I see women making. If you're new to my channel, I'm Melanie, personal trainer, nutrition coach, and creator of Female Fitness Systems. And I've worked with women in person and online for over a decade now. My mission is to help you become your strongest self at any age. So let's get into those tools and help you feel better. The first tool is very common and very beginner friendly, and that's the foam roller. Now, foam rollers are a good first step before more targeted release work. So for someone who's a beginner or really tight, it's a really good way to get started with mobility work. And it's great for releasing larger muscle groups like your quads, your hip flexors, your glutes, your back. Some people also roll their calves, but I find that really difficult. And I think there's a better way to release your calves that we're actually going to talk about in this video today. Throughout the video, I'll let you know what brands I use just in case you're interested, but there are many different options out there. When it comes to foam rollers, I've got a trigger point foam roller and I actually have a little mini here, a little travel size. The Trigger Point brand is very well known and it's been around for ages. And the great thing about this one is that it's got a reinforced core, which makes it very solid. I've had this foam roller for over 15 years. I've used it a lot and it still has the same pressure as the day I originally got it. Now, that's a great thing if you want durability, but if you're somebody who's just starting out, if you're a little bit tighter, then it might help to get a softer foam roller to start, something that will let you build up to a more hard foam roller like this one. Now, if you want more targeted pressure than you can get with a foam roller, then you can progress to a massage ball. So massage balls are fantastic because you can get into so many different areas of the body. I use mine on pretty much everything. My back, my forearms, my calves. I like to use it on my lower back and my glutes if they're tight from training or from yard work. So if you're somebody who gets really tight from your workouts, this is a fantastic tool. And just generally anything you have to release, a massage ball is a great option. One thing you need to know about them is that laying on them is a really effective way to do your release work, but it can be absolutely excruciating. And when you're doing release work, you don't want to be tensing up. So the way that I use mine is actually mainly up against a wall. I'll just lean against it and do my release work that way. And I actually keep mine in the kitchen because I find that the time I'm most likely to use it is when dinner is cooking and I've got a few minutes that I can just grab this and do some work on my body, or I'll do it after dinner is all done and I'm unwinding for bed. Next, we're going to talk about massage canes. Now, I didn't even know these were a thing. This was a gift, and it's actually something that I now use on a daily basis. So first of all, you've got this pointy end, and this is for working on your upper back, your trap muscles, really getting into those tight areas. And it can be even more targeted than a massage ball and a little easier to use. So I absolutely love it for those areas. But then it's got these double massage balls on the end, and I don't use them as they were intended. I'm not even sure how you would use them. But what I do love this for is working on my calves. So I get really tight calves and they bother me when I sleep. And prior to getting this tool, I had a really hard time releasing them. I would use my massage balls and it just didn't really get into where I wanted to. This allows me to be very targeted and there's no pressure on my hands when I use it. So this is just my favorite tool when it comes to releasing my calves, and I use it every night for a couple of minutes before bed. Now, as a little bonus, my cat absolutely loves this, and when it comes out, he thinks he gets a massage too. So it lets us bond a little bit more. So if you have a pet who loves massages, that might be something that you can use with them too. So speaking of pets, the next tool is a Snuggle Safe heat pad for animals. Now, I got this for my cat to tuck in his bed to keep him warm, but he doesn't like it. And I started using it when I had my hysterectomy a couple of years ago, and it is absolutely amazing for relieving sore muscles. So if you're somebody who likes to use a hot water bottle, you need to check out the Snuggle Safe pad. So this is filled with a non-toxic gel, and you heat it up in the microwave and it stays hot for 8 to 10 hours. And the way that I like using this is I actually tuck it in my bed at night, and when those calves get tight and start bothering me, or any other muscle, because as you might know, when you sleep, oftentimes something will come up and start bothering you, like you might get a tight cramping hamstring, or maybe your back is a bit sore. Having something like this in bed with you is really amazing because you can just grab it and put it wherever you need, and it just helps you get back to sleep. That's how I use it. Of course, you could use it just throughout the day as well. And even if you want to warm yourself up, if you like having warm feet in bed at night. Now, one little tip is that it does come with a cover, and I find that's too thick for getting the heat out of it that I want to feel on my muscles. So I actually just put mine in a pillowcase. This is something that I just cannot be without, and this has lasted me for a very long time. I'm going on year 4 with this, so absolutely fantastic. Love it, and it's something that you definitely need to try if you love using heat for recovery. And then we have the Move Plus Pro. So this has been an absolute game changer for me when it comes to recovery and just reducing inflammation and joint pain. So this is a red light therapy device that uses LEDs and lasers, which means that you're going to get surface level benefits for your skin, for circulation, but it also works deeper to help with inflammation, joint pain, and muscle recovery. It's designed to wrap around a joint, but you can also pop the individual modules out, and they sit against the skin, which means that you're going to get more targeted relief than if you were to sit by a red light panel, for example. Now, you can watch my full review on YouTube to learn more about how I use it, and I should be able to link to that somewhere on the screen for you here, but I'll also link to it in the description of this video. Basically, I've been using it for my elbow pain that I get from training, and on my tight calves, and a tendon in my lower leg that is really inflamed and bothers me a lot. And it has made a huge difference. It really quiets down the pain and means that when it comes to training, for example, with that elbow pain, I can get back into the gym. I'm not as limited in what I can do. And after a hard workout the next day, my elbows are nowhere near as sore as they used to be. So I absolutely love it. And if you're somebody who has a lot of joint pain as you get older, this is something you could look into. As I mentioned, it's designed to be wrapped around a joint and was originally created for knees. So if you're somebody who has knee pain, this could be a good option for you. So overall, just a really fantastic tool to have if you're looking for a next level option when it comes to reducing inflammation and joint pain. And then finally, I wanted to talk about something that many of us already have at home, and that's a hot bath. So recent research suggests that hot baths might have the same benefits as you would get from a sauna when it comes to your health and recovery. And last winter, I really suffer in the cold, and I decided to start using hot baths. And I do find that it makes a big difference to my circulation and to how I feel overall. And as a bonus, it can really help you unwind at the end of the day. So if you're interested in the health benefits of a sauna, but you don't have access to one, then you could start doing hot baths. Now, you need to follow a certain protocol to get the benefits. There is a certain amount of time that you need to be in the water, and there's a certain heat that works best. So my recommendation is to pop it into ChatGPT, come up with a protocol for yourself that can work, and even just 1 or 2 a week can make a difference to your health and recovery. So those are some tools that you can use on a daily basis to keep your body feeling good and to keep yourself training hard. But if you use them wrong, it can actually make things a lot worse. So today I wanted to talk about the biggest mistake that I see women making when it comes to mobility. So many women ask me, what's the best mobility routine? Or they'll hop on social media and they'll just start following something random. And the problem with that is what's good for one person may not be good for you. So, for example, let's say somebody has posture problems, then they're going to need a routine based around posture. However, another person might have low bone density in their spine, and for them to do those same exercises that that person is doing for posture could be disastrous. So it's really important that you don't just come up with a general routine because you think you need mobility. Instead, you need to be figuring out what your specific needs are and creating a routine around that. And what most women don't realize is that weight training is actually one of the best ways to improve your mobility, especially if you're following a really good program. So I've seen women have major changes in their mobility after following a program for a few years. And it also improves your balance, your coordination, and your overall strength. So weight training is one of the best tools you have when it comes to your mobility. And on that note, if you want some help with your training and you're looking for a safe, effective strength training program, I will leave a link to my programs in the description of this video. You can head over to my website, femalefitnesssystems.com, and check them out. And let me know in the comments what you thought of the tools that you saw today. If there's any that you love, if there's any you're going to try. You can also leave me questions there because I will get back to you. And I'm also going to leave a link to my Amazon shop in the description of this video if you aren't sure where to find these products. I do make a small commission if you buy using my links, and that helps support my channel here on YouTube, so I appreciate that. And if you're a client, you have a link to my Amazon shop in all your sign-up materials. So that's it from me today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.